Hi, welcome to this screencast presentation for your task number 1, the electronic case study presentation for core principles of paediatrics in primary care and the acute sector. This screencast has been put together to support you in preparing and delivering your task number 1, and I hope the information in it is useful. Use it in collaboration with the other materials under the assessment tab on the Blackboard module site. So as you've probably already alluded to from reading the assessment criteria for this task 1 from the assessment tab, you're required to create a 15-minute electronic case study presentation to demonstrate the acquisition of essential knowledge and skills in the assessment, management and appropriate treatment of a child with a condition of your choice. So when we talk about electronic case study presentations, as you may have noticed from the welcome screencast, this is the tool that I'm using to deliver this support material to you. Screencast-O-Matic is something I'll move on to in a few slides, but it's something that's incredibly easy to use, and as you can see, the format for my presentation is a PowerPoint presentation in itself that I've prepared the text to, the pictures to, and I can turn the camera on, talk over it, record it and share it with you by uploading it. So this task 1 only needs to meet the first learning outcome for the module, which is to identify, collect and synthesize the information required to effectively assess, diagnose, investigate and manage the treatment of the child as a patient with due consideration to the role of the parent and the carer. We always suggest to students when they're writing and preparing their assignments that they use the marking criteria and feedback sheets, because this is a tool that as your markers we use to mark and score and produce the marks for your work. So using this will help you frame the content, and essentially you're going to be using your clinical skills and attributes to produce this case study presentation as you do in practice. So essentially we are focusing learning outcome 1, which is that's given here. I think the absolute trick is to choose something simple and don't overcomplicate it. Some of you will be on programs of master study and will have previously completed assignments and have experience and confidence in doing this. Others of you might not have studied for a period of time, and that's absolutely fine. So choose something that you have seen in practice and experience where you've cared for a child and their family. Think about what their presentation was and the assessment that you made of them and undertook. What was your approach to the examination? What was the advice that you gave? What were the conversations that you had? What did you see? Were there any red flags? And what did you suggest and what did you propose happened next? Did you suggest that the patient needed some tests or investigations? Did you just offer advice? Did you refer them to primary care for admission? What was your safety netting? And so on and so forth. And some of the previous examples from students who've participated in the module previously are, as I say, quite simple things, but then they've gone on and provided a potential diagnosis. So an abdominal pain that turned out to be cryptosporidium scarlet fever. Somebody did a wonderful presentation on a patient who had self-harmed, sepsis, tonsillitis, asthma. And again, I think if you're using your effort and energy in preparing this work, and we're very conscious that you're all in clinical practice and working and have lives and families, etc. For me, when I'm preparing my work, if I'm studying, I try and choose something that I can do something with afterwards. So if you choose something that as a nurse in practice you know yourself and your colleagues are going to see again, use it as a learning resource, make it about something that you can share with your peers in the future. So this is where we come back to Sreencast-O-Matic, and if you go to the module homepage and you navigate to your menu on the left hand side, you will see the assessment tab. There's quite a lot of information under there. There's all the details for task 1, task 2, and there's also a tab for TEL support, which is technology enhanced learning. And on there they have provided you with a really beautifully presented Word document which tells you exactly how to go about finding, installing and using Sreencast-O-Matic. And as I say, this presentation that I'm delivering for you now is done using this tool, as are quite a lot of the materials on the module site that we deliver to you on a weekly basis, because there's nothing worse than being sat in front of a PowerPoint without somebody actually supporting you and understanding it, explaining it, and helping pace you through the work. So Sreencast-O-Matic, really simple to use. The version that you are able to enrol to our students is a free license product, and really just to pull to your attention quite importantly, it's only 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes it will just cut out and stop. So it's really important that you pace yourself with your presentation and not run over, because if you do, you're going to lose material, excuse me, and potentially that might affect your grade, because as your markers we're not going to see anything that exceeds over 15 minutes. In that Word document as well that Jo has prepared for us, it gives you some really lovely top tips on how to make the best from Sreencast. So have a look under the Assessment tab, under the Tell tab within there, and have a look at downloading and working with it. Have a practice with it. You don't have to present your case study with the camera on like I'm doing here. It fills people with dread. That's not a problem. As long as we can hear you, as long as it's paced, as long as we can see your work, and you present it to us verbally, that's absolutely fine. Alternatively, if you are quite tech savvy, you've got adolescents at home, you've got tech husbands, partners, somebody within the family, you can use any platform at all to deliver your electronic case presentation, as long as it's uploaded onto the Blackboard site. Again, if you have difficulty in uploading anything to the Blackboard site, you can email it directly to us as your markers, and we can mark it from that as well. So don't get too hung up about uploading if you're really struggling with it. But like I say, if you've got a tool that you're really competent or familiar with using, then by all means use it. Some people use YouTube. A student previously has also filmed a mock consultation where they have spoken about what they're doing and involved their patient in the video, so anything goes. The layout, style and presentation is really up to you. There is an example of slide formats available again on the Assessment tab. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of there, I have just proposed some shoe labelled PowerPoint slides with some suggested topics, titles. It has some sort of flow, but it is not mandated. So if you follow the consultation model that you use in practice, then that's probably the best advice I can offer to you. Everybody has got a different style or presentation that they use, so don't get distressed if you're speaking to a peer that you're working with who's also doing this course and they're delivering it one way and you'd plan to do it another. There really isn't a right or a wrong way to do it. I know some of you in practice use a Calgary-Cambridge model. This can be quite a medical model, but if you're encouraged to use that in practice and it works for you, that's absolutely fine. You might use a heads assessment approach. You might use a standard hospital clerking style. Some people I know use SBAR, some people use Pendleton. You may have another. Make reference to it and tell us why you're using it, and then use it to guide you through presenting and formatting your case study presentation. And as I say, there are some proposed titles and slides there for you under the Assessment tab. Scroll all the way down. But as I said earlier, these are not mandated, but you may find them useful to use. A couple of really important final points. It goes without saying, as health professionals, you must maintain confidentiality at all times. You must not name or identify your area of clinical practice, wherever that might be. And please, from experience, this is a comment I'd like to make to you all, is offer your chosen patient a pseudonym. If you give them a name, it just makes them a real person. It makes us feel how you interacted with them and how you were involved in their care. But when you do talk about anonymisation of your patients, etc., and maintaining confidentiality, do make reference to this and provide us with a reference to the contemporary literature. So you might want to use, if you're nurses, the NMC code, or if you're an allied health professional, it might be that you want to use the HCPC or your own governing body as a reference and citation for maintaining confidentiality. And finally, don't call them patient X or Z, it's just really impersonal. Choose a name and allocate them a pseudonym. And finally, referencing. you must reference your slides. It's an academic piece of work, and an example of how to do this is again given on the assessment tab. There's quite a lot of information, as I keep saying, on the assessment tab, but hopefully it's presented in a nice formatted way with titles so you can click into areas that are of interest to you and you don't have to look at the others if they're not. Use citations on your slides where you refer to policy or somebody else's work, and then provide an appropriately formatted reference, a reference list at the end of your presentation, so maybe the last 1 or 2 slides depending on how many citations and references you want to use. So a citation is if you are referring to NICE guidance or criteria, is in your bracketed citation in your slide where you use NICE, it's going to be NICE, 2018 close bracket, and within your reference list you then provide the full reference for that citation. So a final, given that I have referred to this so much in this presentation, I just wanted to take you back and remind you of all the materials that are on here to support you with this task 1 and also task 2. So this, as you can see, is the home page for, this isn't home page, this is the module page for this module. If you clicked in here, you get the home page, and this is the menu that we talk about. So we're down here now. I've clicked into assessment, and you can see that here, and then it takes us down through task 1, and this is the assessment and marking criteria. This is what myself and my colleagues will be using when we mark your assignments, to use this to help you frame the content for your presentation and make sure you've achieved everything that's expected of you. This is the assessment brief. There's some general case study guidelines here, and there's also some examples of how to provide references and citations for your electronic case study presentation. There will be a separate screencast for task 2, but these are the details about the assignment here. Confidentiality in assignments we've referred to, and there's some documentation there that you need to complete and sign and upload to the Blackboard Grade Centre site when you're submitting your work to say that you have maintained consent and confidentiality for your service users. There is an academic advisor marker list which will be populated on Grade Centre. Once everybody's enrolled, I will assign you a marker and an academic advisor. So as you prepare to write your assessment pieces, you can make contact with your marker, and you can get their details from the staff details again on the menu for this module site. This is where the TEL support Screencast-O-Matic document is for you. So click into here and have a look at those materials. And then it goes on to give you some general support with writing. Things that you can access at Sheffield Hallam University through library service, through Hallam Help. A reminder of how to avoid plagiarism, really important, because not your case study electronic presentation, but certainly your written assignment for task 2 will be uploaded through Turnitin, which is a plagiarising checking software, to make sure that you are paraphrasing other people's work and not just chunking and copying. As I keep alluding to as well, we're very conscious that you're in clinical practice, you're working and you have lives and you travel and stuff happens. So if you absolutely find yourself that you are overwhelmed and unable to meet the deadline for submissions, you must get in touch and request an extension to your work before you do anything else. Don't just assume that you can hand it in later, because there will be penalties. So this is where you can access how to support yourself in getting an extension if necessary. APA 6th edition referencing. There's a lot of tools under this tab to support you in doing that if it's very new to you or unknown. Some support with how to write critically. Support staff, so your new student support advisors at Hallam Help, their details can be found under this tab. You can upload your written assessment task 2 piece, which I'll go through in the screencast for that, to the Turnitin here to have a look and see what your Turnitin score is, and have a look and read through your work and see if you need to paraphrase better. And then, as I kept saying, these are the actual summative upload sites for, or tabs for, your case study presentation, which is task 1, and here your written assignment, which is task 2. And finally, all the way down here at the bottom are the PowerPoint template suggestions for your case study. And again, these are the Sheffield Hallam PowerPoint slides I put together with some headers and some free text and suggestions of how you might want to frame this case study presentation. But again, these are in no way mandated, but you're welcome to use them if you think they'll be useful. So we really hope that information's been helpful and useful and perhaps answered any queries or concerns you've got about preparing this task. We're very conscious it sounds terrifying because we're asking you to use a bit of technology, but absolutely everybody who had different levels of ability using technology nailed this in previous iterations of the module. So have confidence in yourselves, and you absolutely can smash this. So thanks for listening. Get in touch with your academic advisor, who will also be your marker for your assessed pieces, if you have any questions or concerns, and happy writing.